wait until we become perfect before we love ourselves. We waste our lives. We are already the perfect outer expression.
Hello everyone, thank you for deciding to tune in today and hold space with me as I get into the topic of self-love and self-worth. All right, so I have some notes here. I have my other phone that I'm going to be referencing from because I wrote these earlier just to make sure that I get all my points across and say everything that I want to say to you guys because it's very important to me. This is a very important topic, okay? This is something that really, really matters for all of us, because if you don't have self-love and self-worth, you just have a bunch of unwanted, situations, undesired outcomes. So I'm going to be talking about the importance of self-love and self-worth, what it looks like to have a low self-worth and a low self-love for yourself. And we're also going to be talking about how you can build that up. So let's just get into it. Self-love and self-worth. It is something that me personally, and I know that, for everyone in their journey, it's different, but we all go through the same type of thing in a different kind of way. For me personally, self-love and self-worth is something that I had to get familiar with because growing up, I was always very insecure about my looks, about wanting to fit in with others, about not being accepted, by people that I wanted to be accepted by and not fitting in. I didn't feel pretty enough. So I went to makeup, and I'm not saying that makeup for everybody because they wear a bunch of makeup, it's an insecurity thing. Just for me, I was insecure about my looks, so I started deciding to wear makeup and weave and all this kind of stuff in my hair. And my thing is weave, I would love to have a slade, sew in eventually, but I'm growing my hair out and giving it a lot of love. But anyways, I would do weaves and all kind of stuff. And just to change my appearance to make me feel like I was pretty enough, where I look like the people in my real life. And maybe on TV and magazines, the people in the blogs who they were making, the it girls, right? So yeah, I had to come to terms with that on a smaller scale, which was accepting myself and loving my appearance. I started loving my body. I wasn't like the skinny girls. I used to want to be super skinny, but then like thick came in, which really helped because I'm a naturally thick girl, thick and curvy. And, that just really helped me accept myself too, because I'm like, my body type ended up being like what everybody, like the Instagram girls and all that kind of stuff. Not to say that any other body type is awful, like everyone is beautiful in their own right, and definitely like the whole inclusive part that everyone's bringing to the industry with body types and how you're supposed to look and what's acceptable, and just really integrating more of like what is actually real into the beauty industry, and what everybody's doing on social media now and on their platforms to just really have inclusivity for everybody. It's also really helped as well. So after I gained the whole appearance confidence thing, that was one thing. I thought that was all that, self-love and self-worth was all about, right? Just viewing yourself as the beautiful being that you are, knowing that you deserve better, right? But not really actually acting out on deserving better. So next phase of self-love and self-worth that I moved into was just basically like this past year, actually just learning like the true laws of attraction. We think that manifestation just comes from just saying, I want this, I want that to happen in my life. But when you say that and you're like, dang, it's not manifesting, like I said I wanted $1 million and I'm not getting it, like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Or I said I wanted this job and I really, really prayed. I did the affirmations, I did this, I did that, and it still didn't come. It didn't happen for me. Or even just situations, my love life. It was awful. It was a true and total reflection of my self-love and self-worth for myself. I was not valuing myself enough to even be considered for a relationship, and I was giving off that energy. Like my relationships and my interactions with men were a reflection of how I viewed myself. I didn't feel like I was worthy enough, and I didn't feel that a man would ever want me enough to want to be in a long-term serious relationship with me. So therefore I kept attracting that kind of relationship, a situationship where no titles, dudes who got 50 million girls, you know what I'm saying, a lot going on, dudes who felt like they didn't have to take me as serious, and they would take other people serious because that's what those other women were demanding and not only for themselves, but from that person. Also, just in my life, you know, in general, every instance that was going on in my life was a reflection of my self-worth, down to, you know, the dramatic things that were happening, like the situations and the outcomes that I was getting. It was not desired. You know, it was kind of like, dang, it's one thing after another, like what is going on? Now we're gonna get into the notes, because I can go in deeper about what I was just explaining with my own life, with what I'm gonna say and what I have in my notes. So here we go. All right, I'm just gonna read, you know, because I have a lot of my notes. I wrote everything down in detail. So if I'm reading, just know that I want to make sure that I say everything right for you guys. Many of us have gone through things on our journey that we have allowed to lower our self-worth and love for ourselves. This can look like relationships. You know, you're dating someone who just is not treating you good. He's not staying faithful. He's just verbally abusive, just toxic on all types of different levels. There's so many things that can look like, and a lot of you already probably know, because, you know, we have all experienced some type of, you know, situation where somebody isn't valuing us. And not maybe all, but, you know, a lot of us have. And this is not even just for women, for men too. You can be with a woman who is toxic. Both men and women can be super toxic in relationships. We already know this. Someone telling you you're not good enough, pressures of society, bullying, and so much more. You know, you can grow up around people who have made you feel like you can't sit with us. You know, you don't deserve to be in our friend group, you know, that's in school, or like even outside of school, just looking at, you know, social media, everything like that. You know, there's so many things that we can look at every day that we don't even realize is programming us on a subconscious level, and just making us feel like in our minds that we aren't good enough, or because I don't look like that, you know, I'm not good enough. Or this is just an example, I'm not from the hood, but you know, say you're from the hood and you're not used to being around people who have made it out of the hood, or have succeeded and like made it farther in life, or, you know, gotten out of the situation that you're in, and you feel like because of that you can't do it, or you feel like, you know, you have so many things against you, or you have so many things holding you back. You got to do this, you got to do that, and because of that you can't succeed and get where you want to go in life. There's so many different ways this can look for you, and it's unique to everyone's situation. I'm just talking about the general things that most people deal with. What is programming and conditioning? When we were born, we were in our purest form, operating with our soul and spirit in the driver's seat. Untouched and unbothered by society, we had high self-worth, no ideals, no nothing, knowing exactly who we were and who we were here to be. We grow up and being raised by our parents, being in school, taught by our teachers how to be, and our parents tell us what is wrong and what's right, and what they like for us to do and what they don't like for us to do. They lead by example of what, you know, adult life should look like and what it should look like to be a human being, right? And then we have our teachers in school who are teaching us these things. They're also playing a major role, because they're also disciplining us in school. They're telling us what's right and wrong. They're also teaching us what they feel like we should know to live in the society that we live in the part of the world that we live in. It can also be from television, family, our friends, our experiences, and so much more. We watched our parents with their struggles, fears, anger, love, happiness, joy, and so many more emotions. We literally became products of our environment. We were literally raised to be exactly like our parents, so like I just said before, with a mixture of what society has told us to be. So that's exactly what it is. If you think about like when you program your TV or your radio, you know, whenever you click a certain button, it's gonna play a certain station. Pretty much the same thing. Like your parents have taught you, when you go through a certain situation, this is how I'm gonna react, you know? So say like you grew up with a parent who was super aggressive and yelling at you all the time and all that kind of stuff, and then in your adult life you realize you're an angry person. You're constantly yelling, you're constantly in toxic situations, you constantly feel like anger has to be the reaction, you have to retaliate all the time, you know? So that is also what you can call programming and conditioning. Programming and conditioning is not always a bad thing. You know, our parents might have taught us to be loving, nurturing, you know, happy, positive, all that kind of stuff. So it's not always the negative, but what we want to do is release the parts that we were programmed and conditioned to be. If it's not serving you and it's not serving your life, let it go. Also, programming and conditioning pertains to beliefs as well. Your parents raised you to be Christian. So now guess what? You're going throughout your life and you're being a Christian. We came here, like I said before, knowing exactly who we were. We had all the universal knowledge within us that was waiting to be brought out as we learn to like grow and express that. But because we are programmed and conditioned by our parents and family and everything else around us, we forget that, you know, and going through life's experiences as well, situations, we forget all about what that actually means and what that is inside of us. But it's still in there. It hasn't gone anywhere, but we forgot it. So self-love and self-worth is all about remembering that again. You know, my mom's quote, like I said before, she remembered who she was and the game changed. That's exactly what that means. It says she in there, but it can go for men. It's for everybody. Once you remember who you are, everything changes. Literally everything unfolds for you. You are remembering, oh my God, I'm here to do this, and this is my passion, and this is what I love, and this is what my voice is supposed to be in this world. So that's one of the important things, and I'm getting into the importance early, but I just wanted to get that out there because my mom's quote, that, you know, it's that. So yeah, due to that, we pretty much integrated these new patterns and thought waves of the collective. And when I say collective, I'm talking about everyone's consciousness. We're all one. You know, we are all one with the universe. We're all one with the divine, and that is called the collective. That you can either be unconscious or conscious. Unconscious is moving from, you know, a low vibrational state, moving out of anger, like not being really present and just all that kind of stuff. I'll actually get into this more in a different video, but the conscious is moving from a high vibrational state. It wants love, it's spreading peace, it's at peace, it's present. Low self-worth could have come from your parents not making you feel good enough, or even others not making you feel good enough. Even yourself, actually. Maybe you are making yourself not feel good enough. Maybe it's not anybody around you. Maybe it's your own thoughts and negative thought patterns. Also, like fearful beliefs too, that are making you feel like, I can't do that. I can't do that because, you know, you're scared of this. I'm fearful of that. It all leads back to a fear, which is what we ultimately want to eliminate and heal ourselves from. It could have come from the whole you can't sit with us mentality in school, like I said earlier. It could have come from feeling like you don't fit in, you look like other people, you know, you don't act like other people, you just don't fit in with that crowd, like in high school and middle school and wherever, maybe even at work. It could have come from that. It can just root from so many different things. And like I said, you know, because we are programmed and conditioned by our parents and everyone who's been around us while we were growing up, and even still to this day as we're still growing, because we're constantly growing and evolving and learning. We're all students of the universe. So it could have come from like the fearful belief system behind the religion you were raised to be, fearful beliefs that your parents instilled in you, school instilled in you, you know, maybe you even learned along the way watching TV. It could have been so many things. So basically what we want to do when we are getting to self-love and high self-worth is releasing all the fears that are stopping us from doing so, because the best thing you can do for yourself is love yourself. Hold yourself to high standards and have high self-worth for yourself. So with that being said, it's so easy to blame everyone else for this, but in order to reach a place where you're truly loving yourself and holding high self-worth for yourself is ultimately up to you. You have to take your power back and stop allowing yourself to be a victim of other people's low vibrations. Okay, that is just, I mean, you can't really, that is pretty self-explanatory, I think, in itself, but I'm gonna get deeper into it because I really want you guys to understand the importance of not being a victim of other people's low vibrations. Louise Hay talks about holding compassion for others by understanding that they were doing the best that they could where they were at. And when you do that, you free yourself, as it is a form of forgiveness. Yes, yes, yes. So not being a victim to other people's low vibrations means just letting go. Hold compassion and be like, you know what? At the vibration that they're at right now, they're doing the best they can. My mom always tells me, you have to look at other people like their 100% is my 10%. You know, it's my 50, it's my 0. You know what I'm saying? And that's not saying that you're better than anybody. It's just saying, you know what? They're not like, they're doing the best they can. But for me, like, that's not the best for me. So I'm just gonna say, you know what? I hold compassion. They probably don't know any better at the moment, and they will later. It's a part of their journey to grow and learn, but I'm just going to let go because that has nothing to do with me. What they have going on in their lives, they're projecting their inside. So that's why they're acting out. You can't love with anger. So you have to let go of the things that have happened, the people that have hurt you. Forgive them, hold compassion, and keep it pushing. Okay, love? The importance of self-love and high self-worth, okay? The universe unfolds for you. Like I said before, the most important thing that you can do is love yourself and hold high self-worth for yourself. And by doing so, you have now told the universe, you know what? I'm open. Because you open yourself up with love and you open yourself up with high self-worth. And I feel like I'm worthy enough for my blessings that I've been calling in. You know, like I finally feel like I deserve this life that I've been desiring to living. And the universe will recognize that and it'll start working in your favor. And that also goes for the Most High. Like, you know, the Most High is the universe. And you are the universe too. Don't ever forget that. It's all in you. You are one with the universe. You are one with Most High. And Most High wants you to understand that, and so does the universe. And we all work as a collaborative team to manifest our desires and needs in this world. So I just want you to remember that always. You have to know that you deserve it, and you have to show that you love yourself, because at the end of the day, it's kind of like when, say you give somebody a compliment, right? And you're like, oh my God, you look so beautiful today. And they're like, no, I don't. Like, oh my God, stop. Like, I don't look beautiful. Like, you're crazy. You think so? Like, really? Like, what? And every time you do this, like, this is like you're moving on to your third time saying this to this person. They keep doing the same thing. You're gonna be like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna stop complimenting you, because obviously you don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously you don't appreciate the compliment, so I'm just gonna keep it pushing and go forward. Or like when you compliment somebody and they come back with a smirky, rude comment, like, you know what I'm saying? And you're just like, okay, you know what? Or when you give a gift to somebody, Louise Hay talks about this, so this is a really good example. When you gift somebody with something and they're like, red? You got me a red shirt? Like, I don't even like this color, but okay. Or like, one time I gave, you know, one of my ex-boos something for Valentine's Day, and he sat there and complained about it the whole time because it was like a cute little teddy bear. I thought it was sentimental, but he's like, I'm a grown man, you know. And in my head, I was like, you know what? I'm never buying you a gift ever again in my life. So that's pretty much how the universe works too. They're looking at it the same way. Like, you gotta really be appreciative and grateful and love yourself and all of that. Like, you just have to. You have to. Your outside is a reflection of your inside. So how you view yourself is how you view the world, and how the world will unfold for you. It's important to understand that we are procreators of our own reality. Everything that we want and desire is ultimately up to us. We manifest what we feel we deserve, and we repel what we feel we don't. Period. Like, that is so important, because like I said already, how you put yourself out there for the universe and view yourself. So basically, like, you have to know that you deserve something. Otherwise, if you don't feel like you deserve it, you're not going to get it. And if you don't feel like you can do it, you're not going to be able to do it. If you view yourself in a low self-worth way, you're going to keep drawing in low self-worth relationships and low self-worth situations. And those are going to look like toxic relationships, people who don't appreciate or value you the way that you feel like you should be valued. You're going to constantly be angry because you feel like the world is against you, but it's really you against yourself. And that's why it's reflecting on the outside, because you on the inside are basically fighting against yourself constantly, tearing yourself down, making yourself feel like you're not good enough. And so the universe is going to show that to you in order for you to fix it. But until you realize that, you're just going to keep going through the same cycles over and over and over again. So yeah, everything that we want and desire is ultimately up to us. Okay, so basically whatever you want in this universe and from this realm is up for grabs. It's all for you to call in and draw in your own life. It's not up to anybody else. You know, it's not for you to just pray to God alone and then expect miracles to happen. You know, along with that prayer, you have to put in the work. You have to, because otherwise you just want the world to be given to you and you don't feel like you have to work for it. And that's not how, like, this universe works. You know what I'm saying? You have to show that you want it by loving yourself enough to go get it. Meaning you're gonna do whatever it takes on top of calling it in and on top of doing the affirmations, on top of praying, to do it. You're gonna put in the work now, because now you're activating. Now you're actively working towards your goals, your desires, your needs, and what you want. If you want to have happy relationships, you're going to leave a man alone when you see the signs that he's going to be a toxic person in your life. You know, if you're in a low vibrational toxic relationship with somebody, you're going to leave them. You're not going to keep taking them back just because they say sorry. You're going to let them go because you know that they are no longer serving you. Along with people in your life, you're not going to allow yourself to be mixed up in drama if you know that you want a peaceful life. So basically, if you know that you don't want to be in a certain place anymore, you need to do what needs to be done to get yourself there. Remove things out of your life that you need to remove in order to get yourself there, because otherwise you're going to keep holding yourself back. Just remember that, and remember that you need to do what you got to do to get where you got to go, okay? This is an example of things that this can look like. I want to be a millionaire, but, you know, I want to, but I just can't. I'm tired of him. He treats me like crap. He doesn't value me. I want to leave, but I can't. I just can't leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't let this dude go. I don't know why, but I just can't. Like, but I just can't. But I can't. If I could, I would. Like, all these kind of words are things that you should really work towards removing out of your vocabulary. If, but, can't, should, you know, these are all words that are telling you that you can't. You know, I should have, but I didn't. Like, or I should have did that. Like, oh my God, I should have did this, I should have did that. Like, that's telling you that you don't have a choice anymore. You know, you're making your, like, it's a defeating word, but it's like an excuse word. Like, I want to, but okay, but you really don't want to then. If you really wanted to do something, you would have did it. There's no but, if, ands, or buts about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good way to realize where that little saying came from. So these words are just kind of defeating words and words that you shouldn't use when you want something. It will never happen for you until you start believing that you can. And until then, you will continue to draw in low self-worth situations. That is pretty much that, okay? Loving yourself is self-care. You know, everyone talks about self-care as like, oh, I'm gonna take a bubble bath, or I'm gonna go shopping, I'm gonna take myself to get my nails done. And yeah, in a sense, that is definitely self-care. But self-care is also loving yourself, and loving yourself enough to do so, right? And loving yourself enough to let go and release things that no longer serve you. If you want the outcome to be of your desires and your wants and your needs, then you need to reflect that on the inside. You need to do the work to let go of what no longer is serving you, let go of fear-based beliefs, let go of fear, period, because it's always gonna hold you back, and let go of anything that's blocking you. What high self-worth looks like: follow through, willpower, not eating that piece of cake because you know that you have a weight goal or you want to eat healthier, letting go of what no longer serves you unapologetically, like, period, saying no, having the desire to expand yourself and your mind, loving others, empathy and compassion, not only for others, but for yourself. So that means not beating yourself up. You know, you cannot beat yourself up about anything. Just know that it's a part of your journey, and it's a part of what's gonna make you and help you remember who you are so you can do what you came here to do and fulfill your mission. Not judging others. Ridding yourself of fears and negative beliefs. Can't stress that enough. Presence. Being in the present moment, meaning taking the time to just zone in, be appreciative for everything that you have going on right now in this moment. Look at your life around you, walk in nature, admire and recognize what's going on in the sky. Look at the trees, look at every detail of the trees. That's all bringing you back to the present moment. Breathing, taking deep breaths. You know, if you take the time to just take a deep breath and focus on your breathing for at least 10 to 15 to 20, 30 minutes, however long you want to do it a day, that's also helping you come back down to the present moment, because you're quieting your mind and you're focusing on what's here in the now. Important. Self-love, and it helps you love yourself. It helps you get rid of those thoughts that are making you not love yourself and not hold high self-worth for yourself. Taking care of yourself and doing what you need to do until you're you again. This is something that my mom has many different quotes about, and I can't remember exactly what it is. I was trying to find the exact quote, and she's not here right now. Like, she's out having a self-care day, getting herself to where she needs to be so she can be her again. But basically it's like, do what you need to do until you're you again. Self-care until you're you again. pretty much it's all about taking your power back, getting yourself back up to this confident, loving, or even just joyous person in that high vibrational place. If you have to meditate, do that as well. Like, do whatever it takes for you to get back into your zen. Reading and educating yourself more. If you want to expand and you want to keep growing and you want to, make that a bigger thing in your life, you want to feel more of that. And listening to your intuition, you listen, you are obedient, okay? When the Most High and the Divine and everyone giving you that wisdom through your intuition, you listen. Whenever you hear, things that you feel like you need to hear, and like people are telling you, hey, you gotta leave this dude because he's not it. And you don't want to learn the hard way because we're telling you what it looks like already. You know what I'm saying? And you know that that's true and that's some real stuff and you could already see it yourself, you listen. Or if you told yourself in your head, hey, okay, I'm gonna lose weight this week and I want to lose 5 pounds by next weekend. And I can't eat the stuff that I've been eating if I want to do so. I got to work out, I got to go hard. Listening to your intuition works the same way. You listen to the signs and you listen to the messages, you listen to the divine guidance that you get throughout the day. You're craving mushrooms, eat the mushrooms because maybe your body is deprived of that. You listen, you know what I'm saying? Because you love yourself and you want the best for yourself. Now let's get into what low self-worth looks like. Self-victimization. You blame everyone else for how your life is going. Learning that, wow, like I'm the one who is causing all this turmoil in my life. It's not everybody else, and it's kind of like when you know better, you do better. When you know that a person in your life is toxic, they always make you feel like crap, you get rid of them, you let them go. But when you don't, you're going to continuously put yourself into these situations and allow these situations to happen where they're constantly triggering you. They're constantly bringing you out of your peace, your zen. They're constantly bringing stress into your life when you know that you can just simply walk away. So that's what that is. When people say you can't blame nobody but yourself, that's that, literally. And I sense that we kind of like knew that, like underlying, but we use that quote for different meanings and we don't really look at the whole metaphysical meaning behind it. But yeah, life is all about what you make it and how you view yourself and how you're loving yourself and treating yourself on the inside. Negative self-talk and beliefs. Like I said, having low self-worth for yourself also looks like thinking you're not good enough, thinking that you're not cute, insecurities, all that kind of stuff. That is what low self-worth and self-love looks like. Not listening to your intuition and signs. I've already said before, listening to your intuition is the most important thing that you can do on top of loving yourself. Moving out of fear. Allowing fear-based beliefs to rule your life. Being scared to do something, being scared to venture out into a new part of your life or a new situation, a new job, not feeling like you can do something. It all roots to a fear-based belief. And it's really important to let go of that so you can flip your world around and have the opposite of what you're going through and what you're feeling and what you're attracting in. So moving out of fear, basically allowing fear to cripple you is what I'm saying. Don't let that do that. Like, you have to step out of your comfort zone to get where you want to be. And it's not comfortable learning to love yourself again. It's not comfortable working on yourself, but you have to do it in order to get where you want to be, which is at a place of high self-worth, high self-love, and then also manifesting your desires, wants, and needs. Constantly being triggered by others, reflection of self. Everything that triggers you in the outside world is a reflection of what is going on inside and how you're in the energy that you're serving to others as well. So you might see somebody like, dang, she's selfish, or she's very judgmental and she's this and she's that. What we don't realize is the things that bother us are the very traits that we have ourselves that we're projecting onto others. But it's all about what's in here. All experiences that you're experiencing on the outside is a reflection of inner. And this is why I've said it so many times throughout this video, and I'll probably say it some more because it's very important to understand. I'm like, it's very important to understand, okay? So I just want you to get that. Triggers are always a reflection of what you need to work on yourself. Basically what I'm saying. Being cruel to others. Being mean to others is, you're being mean to yourself by doing that. The energy you put out is the energy that you take in. So basically, you want to treat everybody with unconditional love, pure sweetness. You don't want to be mean to anybody. You don't want to purposely hurt people's feelings, because that's a reflection of the energy that you're going to draw back in, and that's also a reflection of how you treat yourself as well. Making others suffer because you are suffering. That's something that I've been working on a lot lately, even myself, but basically just reacting, not being present in the moment. You know, a lot of times when we get angry with somebody, we feel like we have to make them feel what we're feeling by retaliating back, and that's not important. The important part is that you love each other and move out of unconditional love even when other people are not doing the same to you, because you love yourself enough not to bring yourself out of your own peace and your own vibration, because you already know what comes with that. Not forgiving others and holding grudges. Whenever you don't forgive somebody and hold grudges, you're just holding yourself back, because like I said before and earlier in this video, people are moving on with their lives and they're doing what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? They're healing from things. They're probably even growing out of the very thing that you're still holding on to. So you have to let go and you have to forgive, because it does not do, like, it's just ego. It's just your ego making you feel like you have to just do this because you think you're going to make this other person feel it. But no, like life goes on, love. And you have to realize that it's, when you look at like yourself in the inside, and when you let these things come up for healing, you realize like, wow, like I haven't let this go, and this is the reason why I haven't gotten to where I want to get yet, or this is the reason why I still don't have high self-love and high self-worth for myself, because I'm still moving out of the emotions from this very situation. And when you hold on to a situation in a trauma, like you're pretty much keeping yourself at the same place that you were at when it happened, and you don't want to do that. The whole thing is to move on and move forward and progress and expand. So no follow through. Something that I definitely have been working on, because it's been a thing for me where I would just start things and not finish. And I know that I can have a successful outcome, but maybe like somewhere deep down inside, I didn't feel like I deserved it or I was worthy enough. So I didn't have follow through. I would get bored easy. I would just self-sabotage over and over and over again. Negative mindset. Thoughts are the most important thing as well. Understand that every negative thought you have, you don't have to hold on to, and you don't have to believe. You know, like you can just view it as a thought that passed by that you don't even resonate with. And you can even say a positive affirmation to cancel out that energy as well. How are you keeping your spaces? How are you taking care of your things? They are all reflections of what's going on inside. So we keep saying this over and over again. In order to declutter your mind, you have to declutter everything else around you as well. Make sure that you're keeping clean spaces. Make sure that you're keeping everything neat and organized, because it is a reflection of what is going on in here. And when you start to organize your life, you'll start helping to organize your mind. And when you start organizing your mind, you're organizing your life as well. So make sure that you are feeling like you're worthy enough for new and better things. Take care of your things, you know, so you can draw in things. Throw away what you don't use anymore, what's no longer serving you. Anything that you got from a person that you don't even fool with no more, like let go of that energy. You don't want that on you no more, like let it go. Let go of all objects in your home that you feel like are no longer serving you, that are representing a time period of your life that you do not feel like you want to live in or even hold attachment to anymore. Like let go of all of those timelines by taking care of your things, decluttering your spaces, decluttering your mind, decluttering your energy field. To the final and last part and topic of the video is how to get to a place of high self-worth and loving yourself. Okay, I have a lot of points on this one, so I'm just going to try to move through it quickly because they can kind of be a little self-explanatory, and the video is already pretty lengthy. I know you guys are like, but this is important information. Watch motivational videos and topics and talks, okay? If you're in a place where you're really rebuilding your self-worth and self-love for yourself, everything that you watch and take in needs to be related to that. So watch motivational videos, watch things that are going to make you feel better about yourself, watch things that are going to help you learn how to feel better about yourself, and then also like find some spiritual teachers that you really like and watch their videos and listen to their, you know, teachings, even if it's like through just via audio file and all that kind of stuff. Listen to things and take in things and absorb things that are going to help you move forward in high self-worth and high self-love. Say positive affirmations. Affirmations it's going to be something that you hear all the time, but they really work. And you can even listen to affirmations. You can find you an affirmation video on YouTube. I will link one down below because the one that I've been watching as of lately has been getting my life together. Say positive affirmations. When to say it is to believe it, right? And you don't even have to believe it while you're saying it, because if you already believed it, you wouldn't have to be affirming anything in the first place, right? So basically look in the mirror and say, I am beautiful, I am love, I am light. I am a positive being to be around. I am a positive beacon of good energy and all this kind of stuff. Beacon, I don't even know if that makes sense, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I want you to say things about yourself that you want to believe about yourself. I want you to say things to get yourself to where you want to be in life. So say, I am rich. I am wealthy. You know, I am free of financial burdens from past lives, generational curses, all this kind of stuff you can say to yourself, and it's going to help you get to where you want to be. And the more you say it, the more the universe will start listening, and the more you will actually start believing it. So that's important. Do that. Gratitude journal. Gratitude journaling is something that my mom talks about. Jada Pinkett Smith even just talked about it. It's important because it helps bring you back down to the present moment. Saying like everything that you're grateful for helps you realize, dang, like I have so many blessings in my life right now, and I'm so grateful right now. So it brings you into the now. And that's the most important part, because most of the time when you're moving out of low self-worth and all that kind of stuff, you're in the past, because it's obviously a situation that happened in the past that is keeping you in this state of mind. So you want to get yourself to say, if you don't write it down, say it out loud. Say 10 things that you're grateful for. It doesn't matter how, well, it really doesn't even matter how many you say, as long as you say a few things. I recommend saying 10 to 20. When I'm writing things down in my journal, I actually type it out on my notes because my notebook doesn't have any more space. But I just keep going until I feel like I've said everything that I'm grateful for in that moment, until I can't think of anything anymore. So you can say, I am grateful for love. I am grateful for light. I am grateful for high self-worth. I am grateful for self-love. I'm grateful for loving myself unconditionally no matter what. I'm grateful for forgiveness. I'm grateful for letting go of things that do not serve me any longer. And these are all things that I'm actually grateful for in the moment. So it's what's been helping me stay on track. It's what's been helping me progress in my spiritual journey, in my journey period. And it's also what's helped me move myself out of low self-worth situations and out of the negative thoughts that are going to keep me there. So yeah, so whenever you are having a moment, do that. Say things that you're grateful for. It'll bring you back to the present moment and into the now. And just breathe. Take deep breaths as well. Just get yourself to the present. Open yourself up for healing. It's very important to know that you have to let go. You know, so when you open yourself up and say, okay, universe, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready for healing. And even to your angels, because they assist you and they help you with these things as well. Just say, I am so ready to get out of this phase of my life of low self-worth. Or I'm ready to let go of all things that are no longer serving me and all things that are holding me back and holding me in this place, in this space of just constant cycles of undesired outcomes and things that I don't want to happen in situations I don't want to be in. You know, just open yourself up to let go and release. And all of that stuff will start coming up for healing. And you'll realize all that you've been holding on to for so long. You are a channel for the angels, the divine, your intuition, your higher self. Higher self and intuition are pretty much the same thing, but not pretty much they are. But yeah, so you can even ask yourself, because you have all the answers. There's only you know what needs to be done. But by setting the intention and opening yourself up, you allow that to come up in you, and your angels even assist you with that as well. Ask yourself, like, okay, what do I need to heal today? What do I need to heal to let go and move forward? You know, and or you can even, in a triggered moment, you can say, okay, what about this trigger? Like, what is the root of this trigger that I'm feeling right now? Like, why is this triggering me? And where does it come from? And what do I need to heal in order to not be triggered by this anymore? You have to let go, like I keep saying, okay? Don't believe negative thoughts. Understand that every thought does not have to be a belief, and recognize that it is just a thought passing by. So you could just let it pass on by like a car that you probably know you're never going to see again in your life. You know what I'm saying? Just let it go. Like, let it pass on by. You don't have to hold resonance to everything that's in your mind. And the more that you practice this, the less and less occurrences you'll have of having super negative thoughts, you know, and having low self-worth situations and outcomes in your life. Because when you manage your thoughts, you manage everything else in your outer world. Ease up on yourself. Understand that there is no right or wrong in your journey, and that is all ultimately leading you to the same place. Instead of beating yourself up for making mistakes, look at the situation and take away what you can do better next time, and let go of what does not work for you. So in a situation, if you're not resonating with how somebody's reacting or how a situation unfolded, look at the situation and think, okay, what can I do differently to not have this outcome? You know, how can I react differently to a person and to a certain situation so that way things can unfold differently for me? What can I do next time to ensure that I don't eat that piece of cake that I said I was not going to eat and I know that I wasn't supposed to eat? You know, what can I do next time differently so I can have a better outcome? That's ultimately what it's all about. Learning and growing, learning and growing, learning and growing, okay? Look at your life and realize the people, places, actions, beliefs, and all fears that are no longer serving you, and let go and release them. It is all only holding you back, and there's no point of holding on to any of that stuff, any person. It could be a family member. You know, this rule applies to everyone unapologetically. If that person is no longer serving you, walk away or take a break as needed. Have the courage to say no. You are not entitled to anyone's life but your own. If there are people in your life that are constantly just using you and all this kind of stuff, and using the fact that you're like super helping and helpful and compassionate, but it's becoming a drain in your life, then just have the courage to say no. Because sometimes like we need to say no in order to like set the boundary for our own energy. Now, I'm not saying don't help anyone and don't be there for people, because we are here to help, serve, and love each other. But if it's becoming a drain, just say no. Look at all insecurities in your life and think, is this something I can change? If so, come up with a plan to do so. And if not, realize that you are divinely made and you might as well embrace and love it. So loving yourself is also loving every aspect of you, because you know that you're a perfect creation of the divine, and the divine would not have made you any other way, otherwise you would have been that way. So it's better to just embrace and love all aspects of your life. And if there's something about you that you can change, like your weight, your hair, you know, something like that's very minor that can be fixable and changeable, then work towards doing that, because then you're showing yourself that you want better and you're letting go of that insecurity. You're working through it. Practice becoming kinder to others and not having angry reactions. Like I've said a million times throughout this video, we are a reflection of our inside, and if we want love and compassion and sympathy and happiness for ourselves, then we have to project that onto others as well. Otherwise, we're going to keep drawing in that negative energy and keep it ongoing. So we just want to make sure that we're treating everyone kindly with compassion, love, and holding empathy for each other and one another, and not judging others, because we don't want to do that for ourselves, so we don't want to do that to other people either. Do what's best for you. Your spirit and your intuition brought you here. This is the first step. Now open yourself up and ask yourself these questions. What in me needs healing? What in my life do I need to let go of? What in my life do I need to let go of that is no longer serving me? What am I holding on to that needs healing? What do I need to feel like me again? What do I need to do to remember who I am? And what do I need to do to make me feel like my highest self and love myself more? Even if the answers don't come up right away, the answers will unfold for you eventually. So it's important to ask yourself any of the questions that you feel like resonate to your own life and you want the answers to. It'll come up intuitively, and the healing process will start once you start moving from that awareness. That is it for the video. Let me guys know if you guys want me to go in depth on anything that I've said in the video, throughout the video. Just work on loving yourselves. Affirm that you love yourselves. I am love. I am light. I am peace. I have self-love. I love myself, and I love others around me as well. Affirm these things every single day, whether you're looking in the mirror or if you're having a moment, if you're just driving to work, wherever. Keep telling yourself this until you start believing it, and you'll see the difference. You'll notice how it unfolds for you. Thank you guys. I love you so much, and I hope that everything that I said was super helpful. Have a great day, and peace.